Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Nikki B and Friends. What up, friends?
What up?
What up, Nick?
Nothing much. What's going on, Dee Dee?
Man, I feel like I'm in Field of Dreams over here in Michigan. It's been rain so much.
Man,
my grass is ridiculous right now. I need to hire somebody. Can't do this grass.
Oh, it's been raining over there since when?
Girl, since the last episode.
yeah. Literally, like at least once a day.
Yeah.
It's raining.
Yep.
Okie dokie rokie. I mean, we've been getting a little rain, but not bad. We did have a thunderstorm that Nico and I got caught in the middle of Monday, the day of the holiday. It touched down in a couple of places too in Indiana, which I'm kind of close to Indiana. So, but for the most part, everything else cool. What's going on with you, Coach?
And that just touching on what Dee Dee said, that this weather has been like throwing me off. Like a lot, like good stuff been going on, but then like at least like every morning I think about quitting everything and like fulfilling my drug dealer aspiration.
You can do all things, put your mind to it.
Yeah, it's like between like 6 to like 8. I'll be like, I'm about to flip bricks. Like, I'm gonna finally make that transition and take that leap of faith. But I don't, and I'm here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that because people don't come and see you. Everybody will be hollering out they're gonna come see you.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I just want to be on a t-shirt, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. Like that's it. I just want the free Coach shirts.
You know what? No, because I get sick of that silliness. I can't stand that free. If they did the crime, let them do the time. I ain't about to wear no free such and such. Or I'm not putting on Facebook free Pookie and Pookie did something. Why we freeing Pookie?
I don't agree with that. Like,
Pookie still owe me $20. So
like if somebody killed somebody, then yeah, they need to do their time. But a God-fearing drug dealer, I don't think she even.
Wait. You just put two things in a sentence that don't go together.
What?
God
Which part?
and drug dealer? Come on, man.
God-fearing drug dealer.
Mm-mm.
Okay. That's all you gonna say? You're not gonna say I didn't mean to say that?
I didn't mean to say that. Drug dealers be some of the most religious people. Name a drug dealer that don't go to church.
Ooh.
Who don't pay their tithes and offerings.
That's why they keep doubling up on.
There's some of them that keep the doors open at these Chicago churches, but they kept her doors open, but she wouldn't let. What was her name? But she did not do funerals. Nobody could have a funeral at her church. The only funeral that has been in her church was Harold Washington, which was the mayor for a long time that everybody loved, and her own. Otherwise. And I said that was because if she did that, the people who go there and put all the money into it, she would be having a funeral every week. So she said, I'm going to nip that. No funerals.
Shut this all down.
In Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's many funerals. That's big business in Chicago.
Right. They can be counting their paper from the top.
Uh-huh. Y'all know what Saturday mean up over here at First Light Missionary Baptist Church.
No, because the people don't want to be bothered with the foolishness. You got to think the funeral homes over here, sometimes they have canceled funerals, and that's why we have a funeral home that does drive-through service.
I am done. You know what? I can't do this episode. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, so all you do is they put the casket in the drive-through room, and you just come by, can view the body, and sign the book, and then you pull on, say, if you want to say something, I guess, talk to them and pull on off. It's yeah.
No.
Yeah, and you can't, because if it's so gang affiliated, they don't want people getting shot up, so it's the drive-through service. So
that's why I'm getting cremated. Like, I'm not about to just be in front of some church looking like livestock while people taking pictures and touching all over me and stuff, saying he look good.
Well, the thing about it is,
livestock, Rick. I mean,
people
are beloved.
No, you don't. That I don't agree with the picture taking, but I know a lot of people do that. But I would never allow anybody to do that to somebody close to me.
Cremated.
Not happening. Not on my watch. It ain't.
No. So
With a suit on. Looking scrunched up in the tights. Look, he still look good. Like, no, I don't. I'm dead.
No, y'all ain't seen the purple with Newports and beer all in their thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Remember the lady sitting at the table playing cards?
With a cigarette. Out of control.
Please, I would have.
Flush.
Man, I would have slapped the car on that table so hard. Spades.
Right. And then a lady fall over. You didn't want to do that. So they had it roped off. But that's what she was doing. And it was one, remember the guy sitting on the motorcycle?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the one in the Lamborghini.
What? I missed that one.
The butterfly doors, he was in there.
Oh, wow. Got a killer ride.
Nope.
You ignorant.
Nope. Not going. Right. Not going there.
Yeah. What's going on with you, Nick?
Nothing much. Same old. You know, the working and all of that stuff. And I've been trying to I've been taking I need to get back on just for the purpose of this, but really been trying to stay off of Facebook for a while. It's been a little bit draining. I'm just sick of he loved me not. Like that is what Facebook turned into.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear he a dog one day and then you at dinner with him the next day with Bae. So is Bae still a dog and you just a fool, or was you mistaken that Bae wasn't a dog? And I'm sick of the same Bae with different people.
Man. Yes. He hugged up with a different hue every day.
Right. So
she was dark skinned.
Right. Yeah, Facebook just done changed. And it's like you're only seeing the same people post. I guess if I comment, I see the same people. And then it's like the next, when I'm looking, as I'm scrolling, it's like the same person, but it might have been 2 days ago. And it's like,
yeah, they do that.
I want to see all of my friends. Like, I want to see different posts. Why am I seeing the same one?
Facebook started it. I'm not sure when they started, but they made it so that you only see the people that you interact with, because they try to keep your timeline from being cluttered with people that you don't want to see. So that's why
I would unfriend them if I don't want to see them.
Yeah,
I want to see everybody that I do.
I'm not a Facebook rep here. I'm just telling you the ideology behind it was that we just gonna prioritize the people that you interact with to try to help your social media experience. That's all.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So besides that, I'm doing good. I had a good busy weekend. So
I won't even look at your post.
You said what?
I'm sorry, Mark. Nothing. I said if I'm so uncool with you that I don't have to bother myself look at your post, I'm gonna unfriend you.
Right, or you can even mute people from coming up too. But whatever.
Again, guys, I'm not a Facebook rep in any capacity. I understand your concerns, but there is a help and support tab for that. But it's not coach. I do not work for Facebook at all. I don't even have a Facebook.
Well. Anyway, so I've been doing good. Had a really nice, good, busy weekend. I had a wedding on Friday. My cousin got married on Friday, and Saturday I went home. Got to see some little parrots that I was excited to see, a whole bunch of them. And then got to spend some time with my sisters, which is always exciting. And then on Monday, got to spend some more time with my sisters. So we actually I went to the mall with two of my sisters and brother-in-law. We went to that outlet you guys got. And then I went over to my other sisters and her fiance. They had cooked. So I ended up leaving. Usually I leave first thing in the morning. This time I left at 3, and that's how I got stuck in the middle of the tornado. Yeah. So, but I enjoyed myself. It was a really nice, entertaining weekend. Always good to see my sisters and get to spend some time with my sisters and my child that's there and a whole bunch of parents.
Nice.
Whole bunch of pairs, just a whole bunch. So.
A flock.
All right, just a whole bunch of them. So, you guys got anything else before I do the sponsor for today?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. All right. This is too funny because I had it pulled up and okay, here we go. All right. So we just want to take time to make sure that thank everybody for listening and make sure that you follow us at Nikki Nikki and Friends on Facebook and also Nikki Nikki _ and _ friends on Instagram. I'm gonna try to pump up our Instagram a little more because like I said, Facebook is starting to get on my nerves. So before we get started with this episode, we are on episode 35, I think.
I don't know. Like, I thought about that before we started. I was like, I'm really not sure today.
I think we are on episode 35. Wow. Well, before we get started with this episode, I just want to give a shout out to Lioness Fashion Factory in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Please go and like their Facebook page, LIONESS Fashion Factory. They specialize in clothes, a nice little boutique. They got some nice summer selections for you. So make sure that you support your Black businesses. Everybody always says that they don't have a Black business to support. So please support this Black business for your women clothing needs. So thank you, Lioness Fashion Factory, for sponsoring this episode of Nikki B and Friends. All righty. Okay. So this is the episode where we talk about things that entertainment news. So this is our episode where we just talk about what's going on in the news. And I think we each have something different. We may have the same, but I'll start off with one of the stories, and it happens to be Michigan. Michigan has made the news on blackamericaweb.com. Grand Rapids, Michigan is considering an ordinance and that would make it a criminal misdemeanor to racially profile people of color for non-crimes and petty reasons. So according to the lawmakers, folks who abuse the emergency hotline to discriminate and harass Black people will be subject to a $500 fine. A policy like this makes it so people have to think about whether their decision to call 911 is grounded in something significant, said Sunita Lanier, a Grand Rapids City Commissioner. Our resources can't be wasted on police addressing non-issues. You can't ignore that people of color are the ones who have been victimized. That is a part of a pattern. So, what do you guys think about that? I actually like it. I'm sure that in a minute other people are going to say they want to be included in this, because they'll say, why just Black calling on Black people? We're going to hear that. But I think it will have people, do you think that it'll have people scared to call or rethinking calling?
They're going to question it.
Not initially, just because people that are that level of ignorant that they just calling the police on people probably aren't even aware of the law. Like, usually laws that get passed aren't usually common knowledge until it needs to be common knowledge for somebody. Mm-hmm. But I think once people are aware that it's a thing, I think it'll be good. I think it should be inclusive of other people too.
I have to agree with you.
Okay. Dee Dee, I need you to put your mouth to the mic.
Oh, sorry. I have to agree with you, Coach. I mean, the ignorant that those ignorant calls that aren't affecting life, limb, or other, but you taking time to call 911, which is probably taking the time from that operator helping somebody who really needs something. And
Right.
now the police dispatched when they could have been helping, or the fire department for that matter, because they get dispatched first to any scene. So they come first. And so then now they wasting time when they could have been, getting the cat out the tree.
Yeah. Also, like, am I the only person who noticed that like dispatchers be rude as hell?
Oh my God.
Like anytime you like hear like a special and then they call 911, I need help. What's the issue?
Yep.
There's a killer in my house.
Yep.
Where's the killer, ma'am? Are you sure it's a killer?
Right.
Yes, he's knocking on the door. Calm down. What is your address?
Right. Don't forget to calm down. I can't help you if you're screaming.
But the worst thing you can say to somebody is calm down.
Yeah,
right. It's like
day.
my mom is laying in a pool of blood. I can't understand you if you're screaming.
What type of pool, ma'am? Is it a whirlpool? It's like a lot of blood. Was it a blood or is it a pool, ma'am?
Like, have to be concise.
Yeah, like, yo.
Yeah, they are pretty rude, but yeah, I think this is interesting. It does also say in the article that the Oregon state representatives are are in this discussion too, because in Portland, when people were called on her because she looked suspicious, So if that's the case, my opinion, I hope that this gets even bigger than this. The police just pulling me over just to be pulling me over.
Exactly.
Man.
That's random. Exactly.
Tell me about it.
You know what I mean? So, they have to be held accountable too. But I think I just hope that that people aren't so scared that they like don't call on nothing.
Right.
But then don't call making up stories, because clearly we know that the young men that were laid down, those young babies, that little boy was crying saying, I don't want to die, 9 years old, leaving the crop. You don't want them to be calling on them and they have to go through that. That's traumatic.
Extremely.
Yeah, I think what will help too is that if it's like press coverage to show that people got in trouble for making false accounts, because you got to think like media controls everything. So some people only get their news from TV. So that's why you see so many people, especially people of color, so afraid of police, because that's all they showing us. You know what I'm saying? To scare us is showing black people that look just like you or your child or somebody you care about being killed or being dragged down, being mistreated, because they want you to be in fear. So the same media that's being used to put us in fear should be the same media to put other people in fear for doing things that are unjust as well.
Which is actually, I have my hairdresser, and she posted it on Facebook, so I'm sure she don't mind me sharing the story. So she has a son who has autism, and he is going to high school. So he's actually pretty tall. And her husband was out there calming her child down. She had left, and both, her younger child and the older child was crying. But of course, he has autism, so his movement is a little different. But his dad is out there trying to calm him down. A lady walks up and, is everything okay? They're in the parking lot of the salon. And the lady's like, she even holds the baby for him. Can I hold, I can help you. Let me hold the baby. Okay. He says, yes, my son has autism. I'm trying to calm him down. And he's just, calm down, and try to get him calm. And she, gives him back the baby and goes inside. Do you know she went inside and called the police?
For what?
And says that it was just a fight or something. And here comes, I know it was more than two. police cars that come.
You gotta be kidding me.
Right. And she was so upset. She almost seemed like she could still cry just telling me the story, because when I first moved here, it was a kid with autism that the police shot. And luckily, these police officers got out, because actually she said she was going to make some cookies and take it to the police station, because they got out and was like, what's going on? Her husband said, this is my son. He has autism and all that. And they really handled the situation well, let him calm his son down and things like that. Because not all the time, that's one of Holly Robinson Pete's fights, is trying to make sure that they're educated on autism, because they can't. You'll be talking about lay down and they'll be trying to move. And a lot of times, like her son is a hand mover. That's how he, and a rocker. And a lot of times they don't understand that. And it could have really went totally wrong. But the lady, turn around and call the police.
That's out cold.
You come up like you helping, and then you turn around and do something like that. So,
it's pathetic.
Yeah. But it would have really been nice, I think, now with social media, people are quick to pull out the camera. So now, like, you see the barbecue Becky's and the lady who called on the little girl selling the water, trying to get the trip to Disney World. So we get to see a lot of it, quicker of the people that's doing it. But I think when you hit these pockets, then people think about it. But ain't nothing worse than calling like, my neighbor, they over there fighting or something, or the music loud or something, and then the police go over there, and then you see everybody look your way because the police out of there. Your neighbor over here at
I've been to a party where they definitely brought the neighbor, because the thing is, at a point in time, you wasn't going to the right party if it wasn't getting shut down.
Right.
The person over at 112, they the one who called you. What? Like, everybody, you sitting on the porch like you just enjoying the nice weather, and all the neighbors turn and look at you. You like, you didn't told him. And then we'll walk over to you. We just talk to them. We just say, good now. Okay, thanks.
You gonna come back because all my tires gonna be flat.
Right, yeah. Since I no longer have a friend on the block. Thank you, I appreciate it. So.
Yeah, but something I thought about, just touching on Nikki, something that you touched about with like people recording stuff. One thing that I think like is good that people record stuff and expose things like that, but people need to not forget to put the phone down and help. Exactly. As well. There's too many videos of somebody just being just straight beat on, and it's just on tape. Like, no, put this phone down and help this person. Like, that's the most helpful thing you can do right now. The video will help in the long run. But for right now, like, you will see like an old woman, or that's what I really don't like, is when I see like women just getting like beat down on by like some dude, and it's like a dude recording it. Like, you got a mom, I'm sure. You got to have a mom, and you may even have a sister or a cousin at least. You wouldn't want somebody putting their hands on them. Go ahead and help them out.
Yeah. I seen it was a guy, it was a video of a guy, he was on the AO, and he had, and he was looked like he was probably, I don't know if he just looked good for his age and she looked bad for her age, or if it was that much of an age difference, but he looked like he might have been 30. She looked like she was 60. It was his girlfriend. And he's slapping her. But when I tell you, the guy on the train said, oh, no, you're not on my watch. Beat the brakes off the man.
That's what I'm talking about.
That man's nose was bleeding, mouth was bleeding, everything. And he was like, you better not ever hit this woman again. And I was thinking, and the lady was looking. I'm thinking, girl, you about to get towed up when you get home.
As soon as you get off this
because this brother ain't coming with you. But, so, okay. Go ahead, you guys. What story you got?
You want to go, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I can go. I saw about Lamar Odom posting. They're interviewing him about his book, and he's doing his little book tour, and all the things that he admitted in there.
Mm-hmm. It was good. Was it the View interview you saw, or did you see another? Yep,
it was the View. Yeah,
yeah. I want to get that book.
Yeah, but I thought it was kind of, I want to say, not reassuring, but put an aha moment to things that he did remember from those times with him and Chloe. Mm-hmm. Because me personally, I don't even watch the Kardashians like that, but I really did think that they had a for real relationship until drugs.
Yeah, they did.
And he really did love her. He actually said that
he still do. I hope she get back with him.
Me too. Oh my gosh, I would probably watch the show if they got back together. I'm dead serious because I like them that much. Like,
well, I didn't like them at first. I was a fan of his, because he was a Laker.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So I was a fan of his, and Kobe always has rolled with him. So I'm sure there's gonna be a good chapter about Kobe riding hard for him. Mm-hmm. But so I always liked him. So when he got with her, I was blaming her sometime when his games was off and stuff, and then when he got on drugs, I was blaming her. Not realizing how long he had been doing,
Right. He was talking about that too. Like,
I didn't realize how long, that had been a part of his life, even back to the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was crazy. But he was saying how when he looks at her, he sees his mother. Mm-hmm. And like the way his mother loved him and cared for him, that's what he got from her, and that's why they were so tight.
Yeah, she is nurturing. I will say that she did nurture him, and once I saw them and they did their own show, I really could tell that she really truly loved, was in love with him, and and I think that what I felt for him, happy for him when they were together, was the family piece of it, because hearing about his family and mother dying and all of that type of stuff. And how when his father came around, how he was always so loaded, that was the piece he was missing, was family. So, when you don't have family, to get with a close-knit family like that, you automatic, you just got a whole family from marrying one person.
Right. And it's a genuine.
Right.
It's not like,
because Kris Jenner used to make like him one of his favorite meals every week or something like that. And they really, and and they don't get a lot of credit for how they remain close through all of the stuff they go through and stuff like that, because they do support one another.
That's one thing
I can't say, iffy, because right now, Kim, I end up catching it, whenever I was sick. When I tell you, she act like Kanye West now.
Oh, dang.
She goes in hard.
Really?
On them. It'd be like she Kanye. They didn't switch places.
Oh, wow.
So
that dude talking circles.
Yeah. So go ahead, Coach. Have you seen any of the interviews about the book or Lamar?
I only seen I read a quick article, but it was nothing I really dived into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think I am going to get the book because it seems interesting. And he did say, Dee, because you said you saw the interview with the View too, that he had talked to her, recently or whatever. And I hope they do get back together. Kristen don't care about nobody but Kristen.
Himself.
Exactly. She know that'll be good for the show.
And she really, and I can say, she was with somebody, but soon as he was in that hospital, she flew by his side.
She sure did.
And I don't know if you heard this part, Coach, but I found it very interesting. And you may have even mentioned it before, but he says that he believes that he named the guy who owned the brothel or whatever he was at, poisoned him. He said because he hadn't did any drugs. So for him to be like that, you didn't hear him say that. He said he wasn't high when he got there. He didn't use any drugs while he was there.
Yeah.
So for the drugs to be in his system, he felt like somebody had poisoned him or was trying to kill him.
Right.
And I found that interesting.
He got nothing to lie for.
Right. Not at this point. So, very interesting. What you got, Coach?
All right. Wait, Didi, do you got any other stories?
No, I'm good.
Okay, because I got
But
two.
we rotating around.
Okay. Okay. All right. For my first, I'm gonna use my first. I got two actually.
Okay.
So I just read yesterday that it's now gonna be a felony, like a person, like a felony, and a man could face up to a year in prison if he sends an unsolicited penis pic to a woman.
What? You know what? No.
Like serious. Like I'm not even joking. Like I'm dead serious. Yes.
It's gonna be a what?
It's gonna be a felony, and you could face up to 1 year in prison if you send an unsolicited penis picture to a woman.
So what's
well, good, because maybe people stuff in my inbox.
Yeah, it's like one of those, like when you be like, oh, I got a message from Greg. What did he say? Oh,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
It is a form of harassment.
Stop doing that. Yeah. Good. I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that.
That's crazy. I guess yeah.
You know, you done got you an ashy one before.
Yeah.
They always ashy.
Always.
Oh man.
Always.
I never understood that one.
How would they prove it though? Like all he gotta do is say she asked me for it.
No.
Nah, like because you gotta think they could pull phone records. They know if you just sitting there then 820 penis.
And you gotta think about your especially if they're doing it on Facebook or something like that. If you didn't send all these messages and I haven't never replied back, and then bam, you hit me with that because the form didn't work. If the poem didn't work, you think this gonna work?
Right, this gonna do it?
Well, anybody who's sending poems unsolicited,
right? That should be in the same category.
Definitely sending penis.
I get some beautiful poems. Y'all don't know about my poems. I get some beautiful poems.
Till you read it, he just seen red.
Exactly.
You trying to break my heart, you effing B?
All that's missing is snapping fingers in the background.
Why you always gotta make?
You know, anybody who's sending unsolicited poems to somebody that they don't know, like
it's trying overly hard.
Yeah, like way too hard. Like they're gonna choke you at some point. If they
thank you. When they say I'm 36, not 37, now y'all in a fight.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The people who I get poems from usually are out of town, and I don't know them. Like it's one guy who sends me some of the most beautiful poems. Never met him before.
Till he pop up to your desk with a
coat.
He
be at your desk with a.
I realized you didn't have your coat today. He ain't gone.
When he pop up with that coke, he don't know where I work. That's why I don't put a lot of my information.
Are you Jeff Green 3000, the one and only? The security guy let me in. He left his badge on the floor.
Well, you sounded like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
What you say, Didi?
When he was getting choked out, he dropped his badge.
That sounds like a classic Lifetime.
Man. Yeah. No, I'm fine. Drink it.
You said you liked me.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't stand neither one of you. And I don't know which one the most.
My mom is dying.
I watch too many Lifetime movies.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No, but like, if y'all watch Lifetime movies, y'all know in the description they always say he's handsome.
Oh,
but he always looked like he worked at Office Depot, like very regular.
Yes.
Like, well, if he handsome, then I'm the Michael B. Jordan of my time. Let me go ahead and start putting in some headshots and give me some of these gigs.
Mm-hmm. You could. You probably could.
I do got an audition coming in.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, on Lifetime. Trying out for Ruben Studdard. I got the second call back. So, we looking out for me. It's between me and another guy. But I'm in the finals, to say the least. So.
I don't know why we even fell for that.
Listen, when y'all see me walking out for my tryouts with a Fat Albert hat on. Y'all gonna be like, who is this light-skinned brother? This is my sorry for Ruby 2004. Can nobody wear a Fat Albert hat like Ruben? That was his church shoes. But anything nice, it was definitely the Fat Albert hat.
Oh, absolutely.
Moving on to the next story. So, are you singing, Dee?
I'm still laughing at what Coach said.
I know I ain't got no sense.
Okay. A Fort Valley State University employee and advisor to the campus chapter of the AKA, who resigned after being accused of running an on-campus prostitution ring, is among 7 people who have formally been indicted on prostitution and pimping charges in the case.
Okay, first stop. There's a charge called pimping.
Yeah, and indicted on prostitution and pimping.
I know pimping was an actual charge.
Okay, what was your source? Did they just like name it pimping? Because I know that they usually call like pimping like human trafficking now.
It was WSB TV News. In addition to the charge of prostitution, she is also being indicted Friday on charges of pimping, solicitation of sodomy. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution report.
She must have been beating on them girls.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Must have been some underage.
That's what I was just about to say. She's charged with 6 counts of prostitution, 3 counts of pimping. Yeah, so pimping is a charge.
I guess pimping ain't easy.
Yeah, and it ain't dead.
Right. This girl gives a whole new meaning to pimping ain't easy.
Man.
And here are I'm not going to even go through the names because I ain't got time for this little old podcast to get put down. But let me just give you the these people who also got arrested: a middle school principal,
what?
The city manager,
come on, man,
of Hinsville, an attorney,
he know better, somebody
who worked for another company, and then the chairman of the Chris County Board of Commissioners, and a local pastor and mortician. So he had 3.
They had every aspect of life.
Right.
The teacher, the city person, the pastor, and the funeral home. Come on, man.
The pastor is the commissioner, the pastor, and he the mortician. That's one person.
Oh my God.
Y'all know pastors be, it's pimp. Preaching is pimp based.
I wouldn't say that.
It is. It's you got to think you selling a dream. That's real pimping right there.
No, I would say it's more of a hustle.
You got to think. Like a pimp can make you give him your $1,000. The same a pastor can do. You could be like, Pastor, I got $900, but I'm $100 short to pay my rent. Pastor gonna sell you something, be like, no, you still need to get that 10%. So you gonna give me that 90, and God is gonna make a way for you to pay your rent, my brother. Like that's pimping. Like
that's a hustle.
Like look, but if I'm $100 short, why would I need to be 190 short to get that 200 that I'm short of?
But you never know. So I might be overhearing a conversation and come to your rescue right after they see you showing your stuff.
I'm like, God ain't put that on my heart though, because you're not trying to receive it, brother. No, he just not. That's not our relationship. My God isn't a taker. Our relationship is more mutual, brother.
That way, I gotta agree with you because my goodness, when the guest speaker always said, "I need 100 people to come up and give $200." No, if he told you, he told me and the other 200 people.
They disrespectful, like guest.
Yeah, that's my pet peeve. That's my pet peeve.
No. Why your pastor ain't got the new Cadillac? Tell me that. find these real for y'all. Why he ain't got the rims with it? The deluxe package. Tell me that. Tell me that. You know what? I can't even play with y'all. I'm about to put $100 on my own. And I'm gonna start off at $100. If y'all want y'all pastor to have what he deserve to have, go ahead and put $100. How much is that? We ain't even got the 50 yet. Go ahead and walk right back. The devil sent you. You trying to give half and expecting a full blessing. You can't get half trying to get the full blessing. So go ahead and add at least another 50 with that, 2 20s and a 5, brother. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? All right, we're gonna make it to 50. Now, brother, the devil, he didn't guide off your back. Come up here with that 50. All right.
No, he's all right.
Now we're gonna make it 20. All right, and for the rest of y'all, just come on in and just drop your little money in the plate. That's how they do you too. All right, now that we done got the real makers and big ballers out the way, go ahead and give your little hard-earned money to me. I don't touch ones with my own hand. Just drop it in the plate, brother. All right, you know the ones be having germs. I was sick for a week. I swear to God, I didn't know if it was a Red Lobster or the dollar, but I blame both.
Oh my God.
You know what? And I can't stand it because some people actually do that. I just saw, and they must really have it bad in Africa, or either I just happen to be seeing some bad videos coming up. But they had a lady who fell out, and the pastor was saying that the lady wouldn't come back from the dead until they gave money. So they just dropping money. People are dropping money on this lady. Oh, while she is really can't keep her eyes shut. You know what I mean? She's like a terrible. She like she can't do that job. Like if they didn't make enough money, I'm sure she got her tail beat because it was her eyes moving and she was been dead. And then all of a sudden she started, flickering and. People still coming. She coming back, and I'm like, nobody. There's no way these people really believe this.
They do though.
There's no. And you know what? That's the second time I didn't heard that because this girl I know came and said, yeah, at my church, so and so passed out, stopped breathing, and everybody just tarried over her. Okay, first of all. You mean to tell me that nobody called 911 if Sister So-and-so passed out? Really? Not a shout pass out, but a flat out pass out and she flatlined? No one? Got to take care of babies and food. Not on my watch. Nope.
Yeah, nah.
Nope.
It's hard, man. I was a deacon for a day.
No, you weren't.
You know what?
No.
I was a deacon for a day. They did that, but the dude was big. And they like, we gonna get him up. I'm taking too long to get him up. I kid you not. One of the other niggas tell me, stop playing and pick him up. So I know they still made a little bit of money, but it wasn't what they was expecting. So.
Anyway, let's move on from that story. We done changed the pimping story of the AKA to about the church.
But look how much we had to work with though. That's alarming. Right.
Exactly. So go ahead, Dee Dee. What's your next story? What you got that you think?
When did this happen? What's the date when your story happened? Like recently?
April 9th.
Oh, dang.
Mm-hmm.
They should be locked up by now.
Yeah.
I had so I know y'all don't care, but your boy Robert Kelly.
Man, that was mine.
Oh. Go ahead, Coach. You probably
No, we good. You could go ahead. I feel like we are the black kids in the school trying to do a Jackie Robinson paper.
Black History Month.
You got Jackie Robinson too. No, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah. So on Thursday, today he got additional, the same charges, but they basically renamed them. It was 10 counts.
11 new counts.
Yeah. So yeah. What?
Because I had it too, and then I didn't see the ages at first.
Yes, that's what I'm about to say. Yeah.
What's the ages?
13
and 16. Come on, Dee Dee, this your story.
Well, you lost your breath because I lost my spot.
Oh.
It was between 13 and 16, and they these are charges that was filed against him previously, but they're more in depth with their description of what happened to these young ladies. And they he of course he said he innocent, he didn't do it, blah 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 blah. We know that's a lie. But he goes to trial. Of course, he fighting for his life. Him and Gayle King. But the girl, they have actual testimony now since the the lifetime.
Since the Me Too movement and people start giving checks for people to testify. Go ahead.
And so the girls are actually speaking up, which is why they got more detail on that. But do y'all think that they would be this far? Diving into the case if that Lifetime special hadn't aired?
No, not at all.
Because they didn't do anything. Nothing came out. This been happening for years. People who in the industry say that they've been knowing for years and nothing came out. And then don't forget that he does get, that's 11 counts of the related sexual assault, but he has one count for screaming and standing there with Gayle. Acting a fool with the Gayle King. Kill me!
They are. Y'all are. This is the thing, man. We are all wrong. Yes, I'm saying everybody is wrong. Because the thing is, this has been out about R. Kelly for a long time. All these industry people, they wrong. Supporters, wrong. We all knew. We always joking.
And I stopped supporting once I found out for sure I wasn't supporting.
This is the thing. It was a tape of this man peeing on somebody.
And I didn't watch it.
In 2002. That's been out. Wasn't a rumor, it was speculation. All he had to do was drop the remix to Ignition. I'm fresh out the kitchen. And it was never brought up again. Now everybody's stepping in the name of love. Trapped in the closet 1 through 50. So
I forget about all them trapped in the closet.
Yeah, we are.
Ron Isley back.
Everybody did. That's the thing. Like everybody been knew. That's the thing. Like a documentary is just put it more in your face. But we all knew what R. Kelly was doing for a very long time, and we all just ignored it.
But let me ask this. So I never really dove into the whole pee on the person video. But can you see the age of the person? Or can you see him defiling somebody?
You knew it was a little girl.
And remember her cousin, the singing lady, testified that it was her niece. I mean, was it her niece that she brought?
It was her niece.
She testified that it was her niece.
Oh, I didn't know that.
How he got when like people be like, how did he get off? Her parents testified that was not her.
Oh my God.
So therefore, he probably paid. That's probably why he has no money now, because he's probably had to pay out.
Yeah.
So much for people to be quiet.
But then you gotta think if that person went up and said that's not my child, who you gonna believe?
Right, and that's what the jury did,
And that's why people was probably still supporting them, because that's not my child, but it was somebody's child. You said you can clearly tell it was a child.
Well, I never saw the video, but people were saying that it was a young person, and I want to say she might have been 15, 16 or something like that is what the allegation was. She was what?
She was 14.
Oh, my word.
Because what?
I didn't even get until that. Now, I didn't even watch the whole thing. I couldn't. It was too sickening. When they got to the Aaliyah part, I don't like when people talk about the deceased and they're not there to talk about themselves. Right. So once they brought Aaliyah's name in there, I just stopped watching it and never watched the rest of it. But I never realized that it was young kids. I always was thinking that these were, 17, 18, when they
Right.
is what they were saying. You know how people be like, well, they're a teenager, but they be 19.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like that. I never realized it was supposed to be like young girls.
Yeah, like 14, between like 14 and 17, like was like his.
Well, they saying 13 to 16. Maybe it became 13 because now they big. They real big now.
Yeah, because with the first trial, he went to trial starting in 2002, and they didn't find him not guilty till 2008. Dang. Because what his legal team kept doing was just getting the trial delayed, so that way the girl would age. So it's hard to look at a grown woman the same as you would an actual teenager saying that something happened.
And I don't think that she testified either, did she?
I think she did go on the stand at some point, but they just didn't look at her the same.
And she probably said it wasn't her if her parents were saying it wasn't her.
The parents, they saying that ain't me either, because,
Yeah, because you do look different from 13 to 16.
That's what they did to that little boy that accidentally did that shooting. That really made me mad. That still breaks my heart. But so he go to court June 6th. That's when he go, and all that's gonna be is a guilty or not guilty thing. Yeah, and he'll say not guilty and
well, if he drop a fire song, it's over.
Well, we all gonna forget.
Y'all gonna forget.
No, I'm not y'all. Don't say y'all because I've been done.
He is not. He ain't been on my playlist.
Who been done?
2000.
Me.
The same person who TP2.com reloaded CD I borrowed.
And did what?
Play if you want.
They downloaded what?
The same person who R. Kelly TP2.com reloaded. Album I borrowed.
No, don't even play.
That wasn't your album. I dare you. I dare you.
That came out. It came out in when?
That tape came out in 2002. I borrowed that CD from you in 2005.
What was on there? I probably was done then. Nope, I'm done.
You was not. I ain't got to lie on nobody.
What songs was on there? And was the Chargers already out?
Yeah.
After the Chargers was out, I never bought no R. Kelly music.
Well, you did. You did have it. I got it from you.
She might have bought it, but then listen to it.
I don't think I did.
All I'm saying is she said you could go ahead and borrow this too. It got some good jams on
it. That's a lie. Now we gonna go ahead.
That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because I don't even know what song Reloaded. What was it? The greatest Reloaded as the greatest hit?
It had the first Trapped in the Closet on there, and it had he had some good songs on there. It was the Sex in the Kitchen. Oh,
you know what? I never owned that. You probably got that from your aunt.
That sound familiar. No, I got that from
you. Probably got that from your aunt, not
because I was stepping out the car. You said, "Here, you might want to take this."
That don't even sound right. Now do it, Dee
Dee. It don't.
I do. I'm telling you.
Dee Dee's so dirty to do this, their little fake daughter, whatever.
No, but listen, I'm gonna say this to the listeners: that this is my last show. It's not why I kept it real.
Oh,
I'm telling you, I don't remember that. I don't even remember the song you talking about.
Yeah, some jams on there. I ain't gonna even play with y'all.
I remember that one because I'm gonna.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them songs made my Surviving the Hits playlist.
Coach, you got another news story?
I didn't. She just swooped that one from up under my feet.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
Really?
No, cause y'all listen. On Nikki B and Friends, it may seem a little more spontaneous than what it is, but we have full meetings before we actually start recording, and like that, she did not bring up that she had that story prior to recording. I was like, I'm good. Like I got this. And then like it just came out of nowhere. Did
Yeah,
y'all?
she didn't, did she?
Yeah, like we have full
update.
meetings,
The
you guys. Like,
update on
this
my
is
phone
not
came
as
through.
spontaneous as it sounds. Like we have full meetings about what we're going to talk about. She
Yeah,
totally.
we did.
She held that. She knew she was wrong. She had that one in the cuts.
She probably looked it up while we was talking, while we've been
I
on.
thought it was an NBC News update. It came on my phone.
Yeah.
Lie to you not.
All right, so I don't know if you guys have heard, but the Jesse Smollett police report has been released. They released over 400-page document about the incident. I don't see personally why it was 400 pages, because it was saying the same thing over and over and over again. Let's see what I got. Oh, they just talked about a little bit of the incident. This is where they messed up at by releasing this. What I did notice that nobody's cameras are working. So now they've put all these businesses out there who now better turn on cameras because they got them out there. People probably not doing stuff because they see the cameras. Right. Nobody cameras are working. Nobody cameras are plugged in. Even at the hotels and, walking, like for them to get a screenshot, they had to go blocks to a place, time, different times. So that's what I got out of it. I could definitely see why, they had to drop the charge. It wasn't nothing. Nah, now they did have the one place where they did have a security camera was the Korean shop where the guys went to buy, I think, the hats or something, like the masks or whatever. Mm. They cheap enough to go to the Korean shop to buy those. But what's even funnier is they go to their car. This just shows how silly they are. They go to their car and they get stuck. One of them got to get out and push. Because remember, it was in the winter time.
Oh, yeah.
So they got bad tires and everything.
Man, all tires. You trying to do a robbery? Come on, man.
So nothing really struck out to me that would make me say Jesse was lying.
From what I read, Jesse lying.
Right.
Okay, what did you read?
That he had to pay $10,000 and do community service. He did something.
Yeah, but they saying like pretty much like him and the brothers, like it's way too much to read on air.
Oh, of course. I said it was over 400 pages.
Yeah, but
it's
like
saying the same thing though.
Yeah, but like he's saying like the attackers were white males, but they like but clearly in the description they say to the brothers fully said that what they did, like we roughed him up, even rubbed our knuckles in his face to look like he got beat up, but we didn't hurt him. He was even cool with them to the point he was buying drugs from them. They rolled
drugs.
With him. Yeah, like he texted them in word, you got a Molly Connect. And
I didn't see that. What page you on?
I'll send the link.
Now don't send me the link because I don't want all of that.
Yeah, then they even rolled with Jesse that night. Like he dropped them off around the corner before they even did it.
Jesse.
No, they said that I saw that they did say that there was on a camera them riding with him, and that was leaving the gym. That wasn't that night.
Mm-mm. And then they saying that that Jesse had said that somebody sent him a threatening letter and sent him some white powder in an envelope, but it was just Tylenol, and they were saying that he sent the letter to himself. Because I don't know why somebody would.
And see, now that was the first thing that they came back and like they couldn't prove that. So everybody was saying that that really they wasn't putting it to him. Now they're trying to say he did that to himself.
I don't see why somebody. This is the thing. Like, I don't see why somebody would pick him
Right. It's a lot of things that people don't understand why you pick him.
Like, why not Terrence Howard if you're going to just send something to somebody on the Empire cast?
Right.
But maybe they like Terrence Howard. And maybe they didn't like him.
Why would they like Terrence Howard, man?
Because I love Terrence Howard, man.
I'm saying they wouldn't even send me nothing like that, man. You know what I'm saying? They send them envelopes all on the set, man. White powder kind of to be Tylenol. No, you got a headache, man.
Well, here's my thing. Like I said, I'm not jumping on no bandwagon. There's no proof that this man is lying.
Yeah, all I'm saying is
I believe him. I'm glad that his cast is supporting him and Lee Daniels is supporting him.
Support him so much he got written off the show.
But still getting paid because he only did that. But you know you can't trust him. Because remember, Damon Dash told you not to trust him. But he wrote him off, but he's still getting paid for it. So
until Tuesday, the season ended on Tuesday.
Right.
You said what? No, he gets paid for next season. The last season that they're doing that he's not going to be on, he gets paid for it. So why would we be mad about that? A police officer can shoot somebody and they get paid to sit while they off being investigated.
All I'm saying is this: next time I say I'm too sick to do the show, I better be taking at my word. That's all I'm saying. I want to hear I could do it. I don't want to hear you ain't sick. I don't want to hear nothing. Because if Justin get the benefit of the doubt,
man,
I want the benefit of the doubt.
That's why I want to be on a jury, because there'd be too many people that automatically think that they know the story. You need
just because they look at
everything that's going on. What facts?
Thank you.
Just because they look at facts.
Tell me a fact tell me a fact.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question.
I'm not doing we're not about to do no Q&A. No, we're not.
If you was on the jury board, they'll be able to ask you questions.
Right. You want to be on the jury, remember?
Yeah, since you want to be.
I don't care. Y'all could 2-1 all y'all want to. I'm not doing no Q&A.
I just don't see how somebody who actually lives in the Chicago area that was there the week where it was colder than Siberia would think that somebody is using their energy to attack Jussie Smollett from Empire with bleach. Like, hey, the bleach would have froze. We're just going to start there. And racist white men don't watch Empire enough to know that he's the gay N-word from Empire. Like,
so that's y'all fact? That's y'all fact.
I use logic too much. I'm gonna be honest. I just use logic way too much.
No, but that's what ends up happening, and that's what ends up happening why our criminal justice system is failing us, because people try to put their own stories together and don't look at the entire picture and think, well, that one don't make sense to me. Like, every time you will watch something, it'll be their reaction. It seems like he should have been crying when his wife was dead. No, that don't mean that just because you would have been crying, that don't mean that he's going to be crying now he's guilty because he wasn't crying when he called the 911.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was on the jury.
You were what?
I was in a jury. And this young man was set up by not the undercover, but the what you gotta do, the witness that they have, not the witness, but the
snitch?
Yeah, by the snitch. The snitch had it. The witness, the guy that got charged, did not.
The snitch had what?
The drugs.
Okay.
And put them in the friend's car, said it was his, and they didn't believe it because the snitch had been snitching. So he wasn't more on the list. Come to find out, the only fingerprints that was on the bag was the snitches. That was like a last minute. But the police were still like, no, it was his. It was his. It was his. We went in the jury room. We voted one time. And that dude was not guilty. Because it was obvious.
So this Jesse case is not obvious.
Oh, first of all, bleach freezes at 18 degrees. It was negative 62 in Chicago with the wind chill. So you know.
They got a container with something in it. That's in the records.
It wasn't cool. It couldn't have been Kool-Aid either because I would have froze.
It wasn't Kool-Aid.
My point is, when the facts is the facts, it's easy to
That's not a fact.
It is a fact.
They found a bottle with bleach in it.
Okay.
So how is that a fact?
Was it frozen?
No.
Then that was they brought it. Because it had to be in the car they were stuck in. They couldn't have just been walking downtown Chicago and with bleach in their hand.
Couldn't have been. No.
Who's to say they didn't just get out the car? See, this is what I'm saying.
Right.
There we are putting together a story of how it happened without the facts.
You know what? It took me a minute to realize what was going on here. It took me a minute, longer than it should have. But ever since Nikki B has watched the O.J. Simpson show on FX, she has convinced herself that she could have played the Johnny Cochran character. And she just really keeps it going. Like, she just really keeps it going. If the glove don't fit, so we must have quit.
Exactly. You know what? I take that. And just so people can know, it's going to be 2 other people here next week.
Whatever.
I'm gonna be chilling with the people. I'm gonna be chilling with the attackers of Jussie Smollett. You see how they do us? They just use us for what they need us for, and then just send us on our way.
I don't care what y'all say; those are not facts.
Okay, fact.
Judge don't. The glove don't fit.
Think about people that OJ. Let's put it out there. We all know OJ did it. However,
I don't.
Whatever.
They didn't prove it.
Okay. Put it this
so
way.
why are we giving them credit for doing it?
How much did OJ pay in restitution? How many community service days did OJ do?
He ain't paid all the money he's just because they give you. I've had to do community service before, but something I didn't do.
I almost called you out your name. I'm saying this. Every case you've heard of, when you are found not guilty or they've dropped the charges, you don't do anything but leave. We didn't watch enough Law and Order to know when they didn't found the serial rapist not guilty, he shook some hands and sashayed out the courtroom.
So y'all too focused on TV.
Whatever.
Y'all ain't focused on the real.
The real.
I get sick of people having to prove that they're innocent because we've already made them guilty off of what the people said. That's just my point. I'm just not that easily convinced. I'm the person you have to really prove to me that it was done.
So you be going off his word?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we can't go off their word?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, then they
sure can't. Nope.
Well, they glove fit.
Right.
They glove didn't fit. They glove didn't fit. Nope.
Funny.
No, that ain't funny.
Yeah, it is.
Because we can't wait to tear somebody down. It's always us.
That wasn't it. That wasn't even it.
No, hold on. Did they do him like they did Jesus?
You know what? You can go on after you just did that whole thing on pimping in the church and giving Joe pastor need to be in the Cadillac and all of that. I ain't got time for that. Don't do me.
But wait, I'm still stuck on who you believe. It's not that. Had they found 2 very, very beige people?
They were masked.
Oh, because I could have swore he said they was white.
He did.
He did because he said he was looking at his eye. He said he was looking at the eye.
Those brothers was dang near midnight.
Dark.
It was dark outside. Maybe he just assumed there wasn't no black person gonna do it. Y'all putting together a story.
We're going off what he said.
Go back to the paperwork.
Oh.
They're wearing black masks, concealing their face.
But he said they was white. Ain't that in there?
Or that unknown suspects on this time. No. You know what? It must have been the name call and people just assumed that they said he was white. He didn't say they said white.
He did.
He said that.
He did.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Hold on, player.
The victim was found him with a white rope draped around his neck.
No, I got you.
Clothes was saying victim related. He was walking. Two unknown males approached him and gained his attention by saying some other blah 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 stuff.
No, I can read it to you. He said,
I just read it.
No, I'm going to read it to you. He said, description of attackers, the Osendero brothers who are arrested told the police that one of his assailants are a white male who wore a black ski mask with an open eye area and said he was able to see the color of the person's skin through the open area of the mask.
There you have it.
I don't see that. I'm reading it.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. But then that's another will be another piece. Because it don't say that in this one. So when they add that.
I'll send it to you.
No, what I'm saying is they're saying two different things. You know what I'm saying? So now they done added that piece in to say he lying, and there y'all go jumping on board.
Are you reading the official document?
I am reading the official document. Pulled it off of the computer today, soon as it was released. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm the one who let you know that it was going to be released today.
No, I'll let you know. What are you talking about?
Oh, you did? Are you kidding me?
I'm the one who told you when the report first came out that it was being released.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to Nikki B and Friends. You can follow us on Facebook at NIKKI and Friends on Facebook, or Nikki B _and_ Friends on Instagram. This was our entertainment version of Nikki B and Friends. Again, I want to thank the Lioness Fashion Factory for sponsoring this episode of Nikki B and Friends. Please check her out and follow her Facebook page, LIONESS Fashion Factory, and support her women clothing store. Final remarks?
You know, it's been a pleasure, y'all. You know, I enjoyed every week of being here. You know, tomorrow ain't promised. You know, let alone next week. You know, but if y'all hear from the boy, you know, it's all love. That's all I gotta say. What you gotta say, D?
All I gotta say.
I love you, D.
I'm gonna say the same thing.
Y'all ignorant.
Hold me down, Coach. Hold me down.
P.O.P. Hold it down.
Go ahead with your final remarks.
Oh my God!
The final. She put that final.
She put a capital F on that final. So if you can't find us on the show next week, me and Coach will be calling Marvin to get our checks. But y'all stay up. I hope it's warm this weekend. Peace.
Okay, thanks again, everyone, for listening. I appreciate you listening. Make sure that you comment, send your questions. I know I haven't been as active as I need to be, but I will be. Just been kind of busy, so I'll make sure that I'm more interactive and get your questions out on the page. Again, thank everybody for listening. I appreciate you taking time to rock out with us every week. Hope everybody had a good holiday. Be safe, and I'll talk to you next week.